Hello, everyone. Welcome to our day two. We have 3 days. Tomorrow is the third day. Day two of these casseroles that are meant to help us sail through the holidays because when we are immersed in richer foods, one thing is to be at home where even a baked potato or steamed broccoli tastes great because we're at home. We are not smelling or seeing other rich foods, but our brains, as Dr. Lyle explains to us, are wired to seek these foods for survival, even though we don't live in the jungle anymore. Well, at least not most of us, and don't have to be hunting and for food or whatever. So, but we still are wired that way. So when we're surrounded by these rich foods that are around during the holidays, it is not a matter of having, a strong willpower. It's just that we're wired to want those higher calorie density foods, higher fat foods. So here's the trick. If we can get a version of those rich foods, but healthy, it'll be much easier. Okay, so I may want to have that hash brown casserole that has cream or eggs or real cheese or whatever like that, but my brain will be happy with a rich, delicious, comforting hash brown casserole that is healthy. So that's what it's all about. That's the best strategy that we have during this time of year. So I told you yesterday that every day I was going to give you one or two ideas or strategies that I hope that you are writing them down because these are what I'm sharing with you is the work of 13 years, okay, and countless of classes and conventions and books and videos and interviews. So what I'm sharing with you, it works. It's just that you've got to find the strategy or the strategies that work for you. Some of these that I'm sharing may work for you, but not for that person or that person. So, but I hope you're keeping track of them. So today's theme, we could say, is know thyself. Okay, know yourself. Know yourself and know what you can get away with. But that's in a good sense, okay? I'm not talking about cheating. I'm talking that what I'm saying is when you really know yourself, and this takes time, okay? Let me tell you, and you keep learning more and more about yourself. When you know yourself, you start knowing, you realize what things are triggers and what are not, and that varies from person to person. Okay. So, yeah, the strategy for today is know yourself better than the buffet knows you. Know yourself better than the buffet knows you. Okay. So, um, let's start with the basics. Everyone is different. That's my approach when I coach, when I teach, when I do the 7 day program. Okay. Everybody is different. Some of us can walk past a dessert table and say, no, thank you, and move on with our lives. That's kind of me. Okay. I used to be a sugar addict. Now I can really easily. I mean, from time to time, I may want something sweet. Okay, but that's not you that's not that person. So you just have to know yourself. For other people, you walk by the dessert table and the chocolate cake is saying, "Hey, you, we meet again. Come, just one little bite. It's not gonna hurt." Okay, so let's just be real. Okay, let's be real and relax a little bit and say that. There is no shame. Don't beat yourself up. There is no weakness. Many of us here are very strong people, and it's not weakness. There is only one thing, there is self knowledge. That there is, okay? Self knowledge. That's what we also do during our 7 day program, which I hope you will consider taking since this is the last one for this year. So, this is the secret strategy for today. Okay, here we go. Know what you personally can get away with, and then you plan around it. And I'll give you an example. Okay, examples are always the best. If stuffing is your kryptonite, okay, if stuffing is your thing, then guess what? Find a stuffing casserole that is plant based, oil free, and free of any of those products that create inflammation, like dairy and meat. So then you will be fine. You will be focusing on that stuffing casserole, and you will be happy with it. I will be focusing especially on holiday recipes in this upcoming 7 day program, which is December 1st through the 7th. Um, so if creamy potato dishes take you down, then make sure you have your own whole food plant-based version. Okay, you can search the internet, or you could, like I said, email me, or you can take my last 7 day program. We're going to focus on those kind of recipes. Okay, so when you bring a dish and when you make a dish that satisfies your brain expectations, your brain's chemistry, then the cravings quiet down. They really do. You've got to try it and you're going to see. One thing is that I say it, one thing is when you experience it yourself. Your brain is not, I'm sorry, I don't want to, I mean, I don't like to say words like this, but your brain isn't stupid. Your brain wants comfort. Your brain wants sometimes nostalgia. Your brain wants richness. Your brain wants celebration. Okay. So give it all of that, but make sure it's whole food, plant based, or at least plant based. Okay. It makes saying no so much easier because you're not deprived, you're fulfilled. So let's move on and show you how to make this delicious hash brown casserole with a crispy top. I gave it my own flavor to it. It does come from the Forks Over Knives website or magazine. I actually have the paper magazine, but I don't like to put tempeh on top of it. Um, First, I don't use it. I don't. So if I buy, then it's gonna, you know, stay there and not use it. Second, it's kind of higher in fat. But if you like tempeh, go ahead and put some crumbles of tempeh. I'm going to show you what I use to make it crunchy and just a little bit lower in fat, but still very, very fulfilling. Okay. Let me see here. I've been looking at, I've been seeing something that says that one of you haven't gotten the replay. Okay. I use I send emails in mass because, of course, I'm not going to be sending 500 emails one at a time. So when emails go out in mass, sometimes they go to promotion, sometimes they go to spam, sometimes they go to your trash, sometimes they don't even get to you, basically. So if that happens to you, just know that I sent it, okay? Because I have all of your email addresses. It's not that I didn't send it. So always look every place you can. And if you can't find it, at least for this program, I am uploading all of the replays to my YouTube channel. Okay, so my YouTube channel is under this name, Plantimus, or you can go to YouTube and you can just type my name and the same channel will come up. So if you haven't subscribed, you know that that's free. Make sure you click on the little bell, subscribe. That helps me. And I put the one from last night, and then when I'm done tonight, it takes a little while to process and all that, but it's gonna go there. So if you don't receive the email, you know that you can watch the replay on my YouTube channel. Now, the email that I send you has some extra gifts, okay, that you're not getting. And if that's the case, then you can send me an email directly and I'll see what's going on. My email is info@plantimus.com and you can email me there. Okay. Very good. So let's get started. I love this casserole. So here we go. And then after we look at this, I'll take some of your questions if you have any questions.
So in this bowl, I have half cup almond flour, 2 tablespoons of whole wheat flour, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, 2 teaspoons of dried rosemary crushed, and then 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, and half teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. Okay, so now to this we will add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and 1 cup of unsweetened, unflavored plant milk. And I'm using almond milk that I made myself. 1 cup of the almond milk, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 2 teaspoons of the crushed rosemary, and I'm just going to mix it really well. And then we will move on to the potatoes. You will need 4 pounds of potatoes, russet probably. I will bring another spatula. So the potatoes you can shred yourself, which I'm going to do, and I'll tell you how. Or you can buy them frozen. It says 4 pounds of potatoes peeled. So I imagine that translates pretty much into 4 pounds also of the hash browns, shredded. Okay. We'll set this aside. All right, so the oven is preheating at 375. And these are the shredded potatoes, okay? So as I was shredding them, I put them in a bowl with cold water as I was shredding them. Then I rinsed them and I drained them and spread them on a baking sheet, okay, which was lined with a kitchen towel. I patted the potatoes dry with another clean towel. So they're nice and dry. And now there are these 4 pounds of potatoes. This is what it looks like. It's right here in this very large mixing bowl. I'm going to add the roasted red pepper, which just buy a large uh, jar of roasted red bell pepper, which you're going to cut into about half-inch pieces. I roasted my own, okay? And this is one large red bell pepper. I probably could have put more since I love this taste of the roasted red bell pepper, but it'll have to do for now. You know how I like to do a lot of these things in my own. I roasted my own red bell pepper. I made these hash browns, but you can buy frozen hash browns. I think it will work the same. Just make sure it's the same amount, 4 pounds. So, okay, what are we going to do next? We're going to pour the plant milk mixture over this, and we're going to toss to coat it evenly. We're going to make sure we get every little bit out of this bowl. Okay. All right. So it's going to take a while. Take your time. You want to make sure that everything is coated very well. I'll be back. It took a while to mix it really well. So take your time when you do this. And now we're going to spoon potato mixture into this 3-quart rectangular baking dish. Make sure you don't compact the potatoes. You want to maintain pockets of air so the potatoes don't become like a solid lump. All right, so let's go ahead and transfer them here.
Yes, I think
When you look at the mixture, you might think there's no way it can fit here. Well, it does, and you still have room for more. I did it with a fork because it just makes it fluffy and evenly. And I like to make sure the edges have enough more than the middle. I mean, evenly, but the edges make sure because that's where they will get brown. And I found a little piece here that I'm going to take it out. The oven is at 375 and it's going to go covered for 1 hour. And since I like to take advantage of the oven being on, I'm going to roast some of these ripe tomatoes. Maybe I'll make salsa later or something. And 2 of these wonderful sweet potatoes. So they're going to go in the oven too. About an hour and 10 minutes have gone by. And I'm going to take the casserole out of the oven. Well, it looks very good. The edges are nice and brown. So, what I'm going to do now is add some chopped chives. Okay, just adds some color, but also flavor. You can add as much as you want, or you could leave it out. You could do other things like roasted garlic, but we'll go with these onions. It looks really nice, the green. And now for some crunch. This is something that I did. I cut tortilla chips in these little, stripes, strings, and bake them until they're crisp. So I'm going to do this and put them on top. Now, this is optional. Of course, you could do, um, I don't know, something else crunchy, but I find that this would be the lowest calorie and the lowest fat content, and it would add some crunch. And now, one more thing, if you love, like I do, um, everything bagel, I'm just going to add a little bit of this on top. And maybe, okay, so now this has to cool for at least 10 minutes and then serve it warm. So I will let it cool down and then I'll be back. This is the baked sweet potatoes. This is how I like them when all of this sugar is coming out. So they're ready, soft. And here are the roasted tomatoes, which I'm going to make some either salsa or regular tomato sauce with them. About 15 minutes have gone by and I can't wait any longer. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece here. Let's see. Let's try this one here. That it comes out. Well, actually, it's clean. Look at that. Yum. So we're gonna look at the bottom part of it. Just to make sure you have a spatula that is kind of sharp at the end so that you can really get everything out there. I'm going to attempt to, well, let's see. Let's see if I can show you the bottom part of this. You see? Okay, it's time to try it. Right. The moment of truth. Mm-hmm. Very good. Very, very good. I thought that it was not going to be salty enough, but unless you have people that are used to eating a lot of salt, I think this is fine. I thought it was going to be less salty. It's just fine with me. I mean, I don't use a lot of salt, so it tastes salty to me, even though it was barely a teaspoon for 4 pounds of potatoes. I definitely would put more roasted red bell peppers. Yeah, I just didn't have enough. Mm. And you could use crumbled tempeh if you like when you put it in the oven so that it'll get crispy. But that's high in fat. I don't use tempeh so much, so I didn't want to buy it. To me, these tortilla chips are just fine. Mm. Well, remember, you can also prepare the whole thing and then not bake it. You can do it the night before and then bake it the next morning. That's another way of doing this. But it does make a large amount. So it's to have people over. I don't know if it will freeze really well. So if it's just for you, maybe I would cut the recipe in half. Okay. But definitely a wonderful casserole for the holidays. Enjoy it. I'm going to continue enjoying mine.
Well, all right. Another night that maybe I made you hungry. So let's see. I was short on the roasted red bell peppers. Okay, it needs a jar, a medium-sized jar. But other than that, it's very flavorful, very flavorful. So I'm going to look at some of the your comments here. If using frozen hash browns, would you defrost them before using them? No, I think I would. Well, maybe just enough to, because you know how um, when they're frozen, they're this block. Okay, so you want them to be soft enough that you can separate them and crumble it and make them fluffy so that they will have pockets of air, but not perhaps not totally defrosted, but just enough that they will separate. Okay. I like, yeah, I like that towel. So if you got in late here, don't worry. There is a replay always. The replay, I put it on my YouTube channel, which I shared a few minutes ago, and my YouTube channel is under this name. Okay, so it's gonna go there, and you can go watch it. But it is a hash brown casserole with a crispy top. Why didn't you put the everything bagel with the potatoes? Yeah, I could. No, I just thought of toppings, and since the everything bagel topping is also crunchy, I thought I would put it in there. But if you have it, those of you who know me, I am crazy about everything bagel. Okay, so that's why I have that. Sometimes if I have a piece of toast with some hummus or avocado, then I sprinkle that and it calms my brain down, because I miss the everything bagel. But you don't even have to put that. That's not part of the recipe. Okay. The original recipe doesn't have everything bagel topping. It doesn't have those strings of baked tortilla chips either. I added that. The original recipe has tempeh on top. Okay, or you could just leave it out. But I think having, you know, make it as appealing as you can so that you will be able to pass anything else that looks that is calling your name. But if you're in your house alone and there's nothing else that is calling your name because it's rich and in fat and in calories, then that's okay. You don't need to add the topping. Did you use corn or flour tortillas for your topping? I bought corn tortillas, but I've done it with flour tortillas. I just find I get the healthiest I can find. And remember, this is a little bit of topping, so I don't mind if it has some fat in it. But I like corn tortillas, and I didn't make them. I bought them already made, but I cut them and I baked them at about 350. But you do it on parchment paper, and you depending on how much you make, you have to watch that oven. You don't want them to get burned. Okay. How did I cut them? Well, I just patiently, so there's a tortilla, and then I cut them in strips like that. And then I think I went like this, and then I got each piece and cut it. So it was a labor of love. Okay, it took it took me a little while, but I did it. If you can find crispy tortilla chips already made, I'm all for convenience. All for convenience. Any other questions about this casserole or about anything I said before the casseroles about how I really want you to not suffer this holiday season, and I want you to be prepared and have a mental state, to to say no to those foods that are going to deteriorate your health, that are going to maybe make you gain weight, things like that. So, um, the whole point of this 3-day series is to show you how you can make some of the foods that you love, but the whole food plant-based way, so that you can still get the flavor and the sight and the aroma, but it's going to be health promoting, not illness promoting. Okay. All right. Very good. I'm here for you. Can we add nutritional yeast? Of course you can. Nutritional yeast will give it a little extra, a little bit of cheesy flavor to it, because nutritional yeast is going to absorb liquid. Then I might add like half cup more water to the mixture so that it's not too thick. Yeah, and happy Thanksgiving to all. My Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday of the year, I confess. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Gustavo. Okay, so tomorrow you are in for, a treat. Tomorrow, what we're going to make is, it's going to make you a star. If you take it somewhere, you know that you're gonna come back home without any, because the one of my signature dishes is the baked polenta with tomato sauce and caramelized onions and peppers. I mean, and layered in a specific way, and then baked so that this delicious corn mixture that is called polenta is crispy on the outside and creamy on the inside, and it is so comforting and delicious. It is the queen of all casseroles, probably. So tomorrow, I'm going to share with you my secret recipe. I guess it is secret, because not on purpose, but because each time I make it a little bit differently. So even though the recipe is here, and thank you to some of you who bought the book, I really appreciate it. It is very affordable, and it really helps Shayda and I to continue doing these webinars, and we really appreciate it. It's called Live Your Healthiest Life. So one of the many recipes is my baked polenta. Remember that when you order the book, you get the PDF with the 10 extra recipes that didn't make it here, 5 Persian rice recipes, and 5 of my favorite desserts. So send us the proof of purchase to the email that I shared with you yesterday, and you'll get that as well. So, and some of you already emailed me that you made the oatmeal, the baked oatmeal, and then you loved it. And some of you added pears or apples to it. That's great. You've got to make it the way that you will want it. It's good hot, and it's also good cold. So when I send this email, just make sure you're looking for your spam or promotions or other folders. It's gonna go out, and I'm going to include the recipe, the replay, and I'm going to include the link to my book and the link to the 7-day program that I would love for you to join. It's coming up soon. I'm going to try the hash browns from today. Okay, very good. Can it be baked in the microwave? Um, oh, the oatmeal. I couldn't tell you because I've never done it that way. And I try to minimize the use of the microwave. I know all of us have different opinions, and mine have changed throughout time. So I almost don't use it anymore. But I'm not saying that you're gonna die if you use the microwave. But some microwaves do a really good job baking. So you're gonna have to try it yourself, and then please let me know, because I don't know. I've never done it in the microwave. The oatmeal in the microwave, I don't know. What I would do if I did it that way, I would do like in 5 or 7 minute increments, and then stop and see. It needs to be dry, and cooked, not watery, like the picture that you saw yesterday. And so you might have to do it in 5 to 10 minute increments until you get the consistency that you saw yesterday. I hope I get yesterday and today's replays, even though I know I can go. Okay, well, I hope so. And if not, Rebecca, just send me an email to the email address that I typed earlier, and I will make sure that you get it. I'm lazy about shredding the potatoes. Can I just dice them? Well, you can. I mean, it's just that this particular recipe is shredded. It's true. I have this shredding machine that is so quick. I did 4 pounds like in 2 minutes, but otherwise, I would say buy them already shredded, frozen. And if you don't have access to that, do the best you can. I think that maybe dicing them is going to work. I would dice them as small as possible. But is the next detox similar to the last detox? It's different. The next 7-day program that is called The Power of Us is called a special edition because it's a holiday edition. There are several new meal ideas, and quite a few mini lectures on how to really conquer these holidays, not just get through them. So it's going to be quite different from the others. The only thing is that I'm going to always try to make things simple and not have weird ingredients or a long list of ingredients. So simplicity, and then to have recipes that are more for this time of year. Okay. Sorry about the extra work. I have no idea what happened. It's okay. It happens with technology. Okay, well, thank you again, everyone. Are you sure? No other questions? If you're going to make the polenta, I encourage you to start looking for it. In some supermarkets, they have polenta. Otherwise, you can order it online. Okay. Um, It's not cornmeal. Don't get. One time I was in a bind and I needed to make it and I didn't have polenta. I bought cornmeal. It was a disappointment. Okay. I would not do it. So make sure that it says polenta. Yeah, the shredding machine I have is the Salad Master machine, which if you're interested, you can email me and I'll show you how to get it. Okay, Sprouts Market has polenta, also Bob's Red. Yeah, Bob's Red Mill is great. I've seen it. Actually, I've seen polenta more and more often in a lot of supermarkets. And believe it or not, sometimes when you ask the manager, they will say, "Oh, sure, we'll bring it. Maybe in a couple of days they'll have it for you." Okay. Well, all of you have a great evening, afternoon, and I'll see you tomorrow for our third day, and I'll show you the creamy, great polenta. Okay. Bye bye, everyone. Thanks for coming.